Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting with EURUSD, nothing much has happened yesterday. We are in what looks like a big consolidation pattern, being a triangle. We do have a weekly gap to the upside that still hasn't closed. So for now, this is sideways. It is a little bit confused. You can see big up, big down. Yesterday was the same scenario, big up, big down inside that triangle. Here is your gap. I just want to get rid of this one. So there is your gap, and that is at 113.162. So I would expect that to be either top of range, or alternatively that is going to be a level of resistance that we need to look for, and that's because of this big triangle break here from last week. So nothing to play for at the moment. So for me, this is purely sitting hands. We are sort of trending down on the hour. The higher time frames, we have been trending down for quite some time. We've got a crossover the moving averages. So I think once we start breaking through these two levels, this one to the upside, 113.162, and then to the downside, 112.666. Until that happens, I am sitting quietly on the sidelines. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen. Similar kind of scenario here. We've got a big weekly gap to the downside here, but we are sideways. Most of last week was sideways, and this week we're still in that range. So if you move down to the hour, a little bit of a bigger picture, is a bit of volatility forming here. Oscillators indicating we need to be careful. We are holding above the 155 EMA, so I would actually just add another level in here on the hour. That's pretty much what I would base my plans off. So that would be around 113.487. So if we can stay above 118.487, I'd like to see us move a bit, come back and test it. That would give me the indication that we've got a potential breakout to the upside, which kind of makes sense because that was the original direction we were going with dollar strength. But at the moment we are sideways, so we need to break above that, and then ultimately we're going to need to break above 113.930. The only thing that concerns me with that plan is this big weekly gap here. So these weekly gaps typically close more often than not, so I would be a little bit cautious of trading any long just yet. Probably look at it off the bottom if we did get there, but until then I am sitting on hands with regard to any dollar pairs. Moving on to British pound Japanese yen, similar kind of story. We've had a strong move up this week so far. Is a bit of a gap to the downside here, which hasn't been closed. Oscillators are pointing to the upside, and this is our line in the sand, 157.61. So if you have a look at it on the hour, you'll see sideways, break to the downside, then gradually moving up. We've got a bit of a crossover happening. We're at the 155 EMA. I did give you this level yesterday. So now the question is whether we're going to continue up to the upside, which looks quite likely, come back and test this area. That would be the opportunity to start looking for longs on this pair. So 157.61, that is a line in the sand we need to pay attention to. Oscillators all over the place and grouped to the upside at the moment. So I would expect maybe a bit of a sharper move up, find some support somewhere else. And there is a little bit of structure around there. So up, possibly break that even, and then come back into the zone. And that would be the opportunity to look for long. So that's looking relatively interesting. Then moving across to Euro British pound. Remember what I said yesterday. Every time we get above the 155 on the 8 hour, we tend to crash back below it. So we're above the 155 EMA with the crossover, and it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened many times. So I suspect we are more than likely heading for a move back to the downside. So this is the line in the sand that we're looking for, 0.84897, because that would validate the double top. Pretty decent setup on this pair at the moment. So we're looking for a breakout to the downside of 0.84979, and then what you're looking for, there are two targets, but that's the one that I would be chasing. And let's put a level in, right, and just to be conservative, there is my second level. So you can see I'm picking it up off this tail. So for me, looking for a break of 084897, break and retest. Then what I'm looking for is a move to this area here, which will be 084268, and first target would be 084359. So yeah, that's kind of the view. Just be very careful because it could do what it's done here. In other words, breakout and not retest. So what you're looking for is a break, a retest, and then a break below the bar that retests this environment. That is what you're looking for. Then you can put your tightest stop as you want, your stop as tight as you want, and start looking for a move to the downside. Next, there should actually be a range target as well. Just get that for you. Now that should line up over here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so those are the two targets to the downside. So what's this area? It should be a break shortly. Once you get a break, it should be done. Just be wary, it's got a break. If it comes down here and tests it and then starts turning, then more likely going to stay on the range. So you're looking for that break and you're looking for a retest before getting in on that short. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.